Welcome back, Drifters. Tonight, we're manning the desk at the Raccoon City Fire Department. We'll step into a place built on duty, routine, and the promise that when an alarm sounds, someone will answer. But tonight, the thermometers are climbing for a different reason, and the bells are ringing for something far worse than fire. Before we answer the first alarm alongside Raccoon City's bravest, I want to remind you that your presence here is what keeps this frequency from being reduced to ash. If you're enjoying the drift, please like this broadcast and subscribe to the channel. It's the only way to ensure our signal doesn't get lost in the smoke. And for those of you looking to support the project further, the links are waiting for you in the description below. Your support is the fuel that keeps the channel burning bright. But for now, the engines are idling. The calls are coming in, and we're stepping into a city where flames aren't the only thing spreading. So, turn off the lights and settle in. The transmission starts now. Raccoon City Fire Department log entry. Dispatcher Victor Malone reporting. Weather, heavy rain, poor visibility. Current status is green, for now. I have 9 years on the job. You'd think that'd be enough to earn a little grace from the universe. I spent the first 5 years of my career as a lead EMT, mostly scrubbing road rash off kids or taking down heart attacks in the back of a bouncing box. I've seen Raccoon City at its worst. Well, so I had thought. Then the Arclay incident happened in July. Suddenly the mountain calls got weird. Warehouse fire in August, and then my own luck ran out. 3 weeks ago, we were venting a roof on Interdale. Structure was supposed to be sound, but floor gave away like wet cardboard. My left tibia snapped before I even hit the deck, so here I am, light duty. Malone the medic, Malone the fireman. Now, the paper pusher. Sitting behind a single sheet of glass and watching the rain wash grime off engines while I sit here, wait for the bells to ring. But tonight feels different. The board's been lighting up, and it's not the usual basement flooding, shorted transformer nonsense you'd expect in a downpour. It's more unsettled. We've had 6 calls in the last hour for medical assist, and not the usual stuff either. No chest pains, no slips on the sidewalk. People are complaining about lethargic family members, fever, disorientation, and this is the weird part, but unprovoked aggression. I just cleared engine 5 to assist a paramedic crew. A woman called in saying her husband was unresponsive in the kitchen, but when the neighbors tried to help, he tried to take a piece out of the guy's arm. Radio chatter's been heavy tonight. RPD's running ragged with the riots, and the hospital's reporting a surge in trauma admissions. Most are bite-related. People are losing their minds, and maybe there's just something in the water. Either way, coffee's getting cold. My leg hurts. I have a feeling the light-duty part of the shift's about to end. I can see the lights of the city flickering out there. And for the first time in 9 years, I feel a little glad to be on this side of the glass. RC Fire Department dispatch, this is Malone. State your emergency.
Yeah, hi. I'm over on the corner of 5th and Monroe, and there's a guy, a vagrant maybe, or I don't know, maybe he just had one too many, but he's been face down in a puddle for like 10 minutes. I tried to shout at him from my porch, but he's not moving. I don't want the guy to drown in a few inches of rainwater, you know?
Copy that, sir. Is he responsive at all? Did you see him take a fall?
No, I went out to check my gutters, and there he was. Wait, hold on. He's moving now. God, he's moving slow, kind of shaking like he's got the chills. He's getting up now, pushing himself out of the mud. He looks sick, disoriented.
Okay, sir. Don't approach him. There's a lot of traffic tonight. I'm going to route a medical unit to your location for a wellness check. Do me a favor, stay on the porch, keep your lights on so we can find your address.
Yeah, sure. Hey, never mind. He's up. He's just wandering off now, heading down the alley towards 6. Walking like he's got lead in his boots, but he's moving. You still want me to stay here?
Well, if he's mobile and leaving the scene, sir, I'll update the unit. If he looks like he's going to collapse again, just give us a call back. Otherwise, stay inside. Stay dry.
Fine by me. I've seen enough drunks for one night anyway.
Ambulance 6, RCFD dispatch. Cancel your response to 5th and Monroe. Subject is mobile and has left the scene. Just go ahead and return to quarters. Actually, 10-3. 6, why don't you stage near the hospital? I have a feeling we're going to get another slip and fall call any minute now. Dispatch, state your emergency.
Hello? Is someone there? I've been waiting for the operator to pick up for ages. That smoke alarm, the dratted disc on the ceiling. One of you boys put it in last year after my trouble with the pork chops, and it won't stop beeping every 30 seconds, and I can't hear a word of my programs. I'm trying to watch the late movies, and it's like there's a cricket in the room with a megaphone.
Good evening, Mrs. Gable. Look, if it's chirping once every 30 seconds or so, it's probably just a low battery. Is there any smoke in the house? Do you smell anything burning? Think back to last year. Is the kitchen hazy?
Oh, and I still can't get the smell of burnt grease out of the curtains. No smoke. I haven't even turned the stove on today. I had a nice cold tuna sandwich, but I can't get on my step stool and reach the thing. My hip has been acting up in this damp weather. Surely you can send one of the boys over to help me?
Mrs. Gable, I know it's frustrating, but if the house isn't on fire, I can't send a full engine company out there just to swap a battery. We're spread pretty thin tonight. The rain's got everybody sliding off the road, and there's a lot of medical calls coming in.
Well, I'm not surprised everyone's getting sick. The boy next door was out in his yard tonight in nothing but an undershirt, standing there in the pouring rain, staring at my bird feeder. I tapped on the glass to tell him he'll catch his death, but he didn't even blink. People have no sense anymore. Now, what am I supposed to do about this noise?
Okay, Mrs. Gable, look. If we have a utility rig passing by Victory Park, maybe I can see if there's a gap between calls, and I'll have them swing by and check the alarm for you. But you have to promise me, stay off the stool, and don't go climbing around in the dark.
Well, thank you. I'll leave the porch light on, and please tell the boys not to track mud on the carpet.
I'll make sure to pass it along. Good night, Mrs. Gable. Utility 1, RCFD. When you finish clearing stuff up on 4th, can you swing by Mrs. Gable's house? She's got a low battery on a smoke head. No rush, but she keeps calling the emergency line until somebody shows up, so just keep an eye out if you're in the area. Thanks. RCFD dispatch, Malone.
Hey, Vic, it's Marty. Just checking in on the most dangerous man on the desk. How's the leg treating you? Get enough circulation in those toes, or do I need to bring you a footstool?
Funny, Marty. Real riot. The leg, it hurts, man. If I have to hear one more person complain about their basement flooding, I might just hop out the window on my other foot. Light duty is a slow death. I'm rotting over here.
Hey, look on the bright side. At least you're dry. We just got clear of Warren Stadium. We had to roll out for a medical assist on one of the Sharks. Big guy, linebacker. Took a hit and stayed down. Probably a stinger, but with the rain slicking up the turf, the coaches didn't want to take any chances.
The game's still going with the rain, huh?
Yeah, they're playing through it. Stands are about half full of people who are either diehard fans or too drunk to realize they're drowning. It's a mess, but hey, beats sitting in the station scrubbing chrome. Anyway, being back at the stadium reminded me of that game last season. You remember the one against the Stoneville team?
Oh, I remember. I was working the sideline shift that night.
Man, I was just telling a rookie about it. Both teams were at each other's throats all night. Then, out of nowhere, that massive fight breaks out on the 50-yard line. Helmets flying, fists swinging. It was a total yard sale. And you remember the mascot, the shark?
Oh, God. Yeah, I do.
He comes charging out of the tunnel. I don't know who was in the suit that night, but he was ready for war. He had those huge, oversized boxing gloves on over his mascot fins. He didn't even hesitate, just sprinted into the middle of the pile and started swinging those foam pillows at the Stoneville players. I think I saw a 300-pound lineman get clocked by a 6-foot plush shark. I nearly choked on my whistle.
I remember seeing Chief Iron's face at the game. He didn't know whether to send his guys in to break it up or let the shark finish the job. Good times, Marty. It's nice to remember when the weirdest thing in the city was a mascot in boxing gloves.
Tell me about it. Anyway, we're heading back to the barn to dry off. You want me to bring you a sandwich or anything later?
Hey, if it's not tuna, I'll take it. I've had enough tuna talk for one night. But stay safe out there, Marty. Drive careful. The rain's not letting up.
Copy that. Talk soon.
The Sharks. A mascot with boxing gloves. I wish that was the strangest things on the board tonight. I just got the latest report from the stadium medics. They say that a player they treated earlier, he was dazed and trying to snap at the trainer's hands while they loaded him onto a gurney. Probably adrenaline. RC Fire, state your emergency.
Dispatch? This is Jenna, General Manager over at the Apple Inn on Ennerdale. Look, I'm sorry to call the emergency line for this, but I've got a situation that's starting to feel like a liability, and I can't get a hold of a regular contractor.
Hey, slow down, Jenna. Is there a fire or any kind of injury on site?
Not yet, but I'm worried about the boiler. It's been clanging like a drum set all night, and the pressure gouge is sitting in the red. With this rain, everyone is in their rooms cranking the heat, and I'm terrified the thing is going to blow a seal or start a fire in the basement. I can't have 100 guests out on the sidewalk in a downpour.
Understood. A faulty boiler is definitely a hazard. I can't send a full engine right now for maintenance, but I can send a utility crew to inspect it and shut it down if it's truly unsafe. You mentioned a situation? What else is going on?
It's just the guests. Honestly, it's probably the weather or a bug going around, but people are being incredibly difficult. I had a man in 204 just standing in the hallway for an hour, just staring at the vending machine. When my security guard asked if he was okay, the man didn't even look at him. He just started growling. And I've got 3 other rooms complaining that their neighbors are making thumping sounds against the wall. It's making the staff nervous.
It sounds like a long night for everybody, Jenna. Listen, don't engage with the guests if they're being aggressive. Just call RPD for a wellness check and see if they won't go back to their rooms. As for the boiler, I've got 2 of my best guys finishing up a call near the park. I'll divert them your way. Their names are Len and Charlie. They know their way around a mechanical room. If the boiler's a threat, they'll find it.
Len and Charlie. Okay. Please tell them to come through the surface entrance. I don't want to cause a scene in the lobby with all these sensitive guests lurking around. Thank you. I appreciate it.
No problem. They'll be there as soon as they're available. Good night, ma'am. The Apple Inn. It's a lot of people in a small space. Len and Charlie are 2 good guys, though. They've been through a lot together, and they can handle a temperamental boiler. It's odd that Jenna's guests are acting like the folks I've heard about earlier tonight. Busted boiler might not be their biggest problem. Growling at a vending machine. I remember a call back in '94. Some guy on some synthetic stuff tried to eat a steering wheel. He made a sound like that. But he was high as a kite. The calls tonight, people sound sick. Utility 2, RCFD. Len and Charlie, you guys copy? Change of plans. When you finish by the park, I need you to head over to the Apple Inn. Look for the general manager. Name's Jenna. She's got a boiler in the red and a lobby full of people losing their patience. See if you can help keep a lid on that place before it boils over. Attention all Raccoon Fire units and Raccoon City municipal personnel. RPD put out a PSA for the north side. There's a confirmed broken hydrant at Mollison. Be advised it was not a mechanical failure. There's reports of intentional vandalism. A group of youths was seen tampering with the valve. Public Works is delayed, the geyser is currently uncontrolled, and the high-pressure spray has hit multiple passing vehicles and a significant number of pedestrians. All units in the vicinity of Mollison assist in clearing the area and diverting traffic. Per updated directive, please log and identify every individual and vehicle occupant who has had any direct contact with the spray or standing water. For the incident exposure report? Okay, repeat, we need a full head count of everyone exposed. Raccoon Fire Dispatch, Malone. State the nature of your emergency.
Hey, Raccoon Fire? It's Henderson over at the zoo. I'm a security guard here. Look, I'm just calling to confirm our scheduled fire alarm system test for the reptile house and the admin wing. The schedule says later tonight, but with the storm, I just wanted to make sure you guys didn't want to push it till tomorrow. I don't want to trigger a silent alarm and have a ladder truck screaming down the drive for no reason.
Let me check the log. Henderson. Yeah, we have it here. Look, with the way the board's been lighting up tonight, I think it's best we postpone that. We've got half our utility rigs out on medical assists and RPDs chasing vandals, so we don't need the extra noise. Just log it as a weather delay.
Fine by me. Honestly, I'd rather stay in the booth anyway. It's been a weird night. I don't know if it's the rain or what, but the animals are acting like there's a predator in the cages with them. The elephants have been trumpeting, and even the big cats have been pacing like they're expecting a fight.
Animals always get jumpy before a big storm, Henderson. Barometric pressure or something like that. At least you're behind a fence.
Yeah, well, I wish the fence kept the people out, too. I've got about a dozen folks just lingering in the main parking lot. Not even in cars, they're just standing there. Some of them are right up against the perimeter chain link, just staring through the mesh. I flashed my light at them and told them, hey, the park's closed, but they just stand there. It's giving me the creeps. Like they're waiting for an invitation or something.
Well, hey, if they start climbing the fence, call RPD. But for now, just keep your doors locked. I'll make a note of it on our end about suspicious loitering at the zoo entrance.
Yeah, please do that. I'm gonna double check the locks on the primate house. Something about the way these folks are standing there watching. It ain't right. Anyway, thank you.
Stay dry, Henderson. My leg is screaming. My coffee's almost gone. Now the animals are scared. 9 years, I've learned one thing. If dogs stop barking and people stop moving, you're usually pretty close from hell opening up. All units, RCFD dispatch, be advised, multiple reports, suspicious vehicles loitering near the zoo and Victory Park. Just exercise caution if you're heading that way for any medical calls. Raccoon Fire Dispatch, state your medical emergency.
Yeah, hi. My name's Darren. I'm over at my house here off Washington. I think I need an ambulance, man. I feel really wrong.
Okay, Darren, stay with me. Tell me what's going on. Are you having any trouble breathing, any chest pain?
It's a fever, I think. A bad one. My skin feels like it's crawling. Earlier tonight, me and my friend Cassandra, we went out for a night hike, and we did stay far away from the Arclay trails. Everyone knows those woods are bad news lately, but we were on the outskirts, and this guy, he came out of the trees. He looked like a vagrant, just rags and filth. And he grabbed Cassandra. He started pulling at her like he was going to drag her into the brush.
Did he hurt her, Darren? Is she okay?
She's fine. I punched the guy. I shoved him back hard, but before he went down, he clamped onto my forearm and he bit me, man. Hard. We got back to my house. I rinsed it off in the sink. I put some disinfectant on it. I thought it was just a really nasty scrape, but it's really, really itchy, and I can't stop scratching at the bandage, and I'm burning up, and I'm having trouble standing and breathing.
All right, listen, Darren, I can dispatch an ambulance to your house, but the roads are a nightmare with the rain, and there's a backlog of calls. So honestly, if Cassandra's there with you, it might be faster and better if she just drives you to the hospital directly. You'll get seen sooner if you walk through those doors yourself.
Yeah, maybe. I just feel awful, you know? It's Cassandra's birthday tonight. We were supposed to go to dinner, and I'm ruining it. She's sitting here looking at me like I'm dying. Some birthday present, right?
Well, I'm sorry to hear that, Darren. Truly. Listen, tell her happy birthday from the Raccoon Fire Department, but tell her she needs to get you to the General Hospital ER right now. Don't wait for it to get worse. Can you do that for me?
I'll tell her. Thank you, sir. I'm gonna go sit in the car. It's so hot in here. Why is it so hot?
Get moving, Darren, and call us back if it gets worse. Raccoon Fire out. Raccoon City Fire, state your emergency.
Hello? Oh, thank God. I'm at the Texaco on the highway, about 10 miles past mile marker 20's rest stop. I didn't want to stop at the rest area once I saw him, but I had to call. There's an injured man back there on foot.
Whoa, slow down, ma'am. Are you at the gas station now? Tell me about the man at the rest stop. What were his injuries?
I pulled over to take a break from the rain, and he just appeared out of the dark. He tapped on my window. He was bleeding all over his shirt and face. He looked so confused. He was barely coherent, just making these awful groaning sounds. He looked like he was in so much pain, but when I cracked the window and asked if he needed help, he reached for the handle, and his eyes, they were just vacant.
I'll get EMS towards that rest stop right away. Did you see how he was injured? Was there a car accident?
He didn't say anything. He just stared. I got scared and drove off, but that's not even the worst part. There was a semi-truck parked on the corner of the lot. No lights on, just idling, and the driver was just sitting there, watching us. He didn't move to help or get out. He just watched, and when I pulled out of the rest stop, he followed me. He stayed on my bumper for miles, just two big headlights in my rearview mirror. I finally lost him when I pulled into this gas station, but I'm terrified to get back on the road. Can you please send the police too? Please?
I'm notifying the police as well, ma'am, so just stay inside the station. Don't go back to your car until an officer arrives. I'll also relay a description of that truck. What did the man at the rest stop look like?
He was pale, had greasy hair, and was bleeding from the shoulder like, I don't know, it looked like he'd almost been caught in machinery or something. Please just hurry.
Okay, ma'am. Help's on the way. Ambulance 4, dispatch. You roll code 3 to the mile 20 rest area. Possible trauma victim, nonverbal. Also, be advised, RPD is being notified of a suspicious semi-truck in the area. If you see a rig with its lights killed, do not stop to assist. Keep your doors locked and stay on the frequency. RC Fire, dispatch, go ahead.
Yes, good evening. I'm calling from admissions at Spencer Memorial. We are at absolute capacity. I have people lined up in hallways, on gurneys, and we just lost our third triage bay to an out-of-control patient. We need to divert. Is the city morgue taking overflow, or do you have any municipal space left?
Well, reports earlier from RPD said their holding cells were full, and private clinics too. But you know, our department has a field operating base, the FOB up on the edge of the Arclay Forest line. We usually just use it for wildfire seasons to house our guys during the 24-hour shifts, but it should be empty right now.
Okay, does it have power or any supplies?
Well, it's got a backup generator, about 50 bunks, and it's stocked with plenty of basic trauma kits and oxygen. It's not a surgery suite, but if you just need a place to put stable patients to get them out of there, it's probably your best bet. I can authorize the use of the FOB for medical overflow right now.
Oh, thank God. Okay, well, we're going to start loading our transport vans now. We've got people coming in, a lot of them with very high fevers, and they're just sitting there and getting agitated and just not doing well. We need the space before someone else gets hurt.
Well, just be careful and be advised the base is isolated, so if things get hairy up there, you're a long way from help.
At this point, we have to take our chances with the woods. It's a madhouse in here. Thank you so much.
RC Fire Dispatch, Malone.
Good evening, Malone. This is Rodriguez with RPD. I'm out of the 16th Street bypass just north of the industrial park. Gonna need you to roll heavy rescue and at least 2, maybe 3 ambulances out here. We've got a bad one.
Copy that. What are we looking at? Entrapment?
Yeah. A sedan got sandwiched between a concrete divider and a flatbed. Driver's side's crushed in pretty good. One male occupant looks like mid-30s, pinned from the waist down. He's alive, but not responsive, just staring straight ahead. I tried getting the door open with a crowbar, but I need jaws of life to peel him out of there.
Understood. I have Rescue 4 10 minutes out. You mentioned multiple ambulances. What's the count on the other vehicles?
Well, flatbed driver's dazed, likely a concussion, but we got a third car involved that spun out into the ditch. 2 more passengers and 1 with head lacerations. They're out of the vehicle, but they aren't making much sense. They're just sitting on the wet grass, watching the rain. I tried to get them to move under the overpass to stay dry, but they wouldn't even acknowledge I was there.
Copy. We'll have a triage unit and 2 transport vans. Sounds like a lot of shock on the scene.
Yeah, okay, let's go with that. Oh, and hey, have the fire boys bring some extra absorbent for a fuel leak. Flatbed's tank's weeping pretty steadily into the gutter. It's not a gusher, but the way this rain's moving, it's going to slick up the whole bypass if we don't get it contained.
I'll pass it along. Also be advised, Engine 5's on the way for the spill. Hang in there.
Yeah, 2-4. We'll be here.
RCFD dispatch, state the location of your emergency.
The apartments! The Birch Street walk-ups! 402 Birch! It's the whole 2nd floor. It went up so fast. I don't know how it happened. There was a small fire, and then the walls seemed to melt.
Okay, stay calm. We're on the way. Are you out of the building, and is everyone accounted for?
I'm across the street. Most of us got out, but there are people still inside. I could see them through the windows on the 3rd floor, but they're not doing anything. They're just standing inside against the glass. The smoke is black and thick as oil, but they're just standing there watching fire lick the ceiling. They're not breaking the glass. Why aren't they jumping?
All right, sir, listen to me. Get back as far as you can. The heat from a structure fire that size can shatter windows as far as across the street. We have an engine and a ladder turning into Birch right now. Do you see the trucks?
Yeah, I think I see the lights, but there's someone else in the alley. One of the tenants, I think, and he's on fire. His whole sleeve's burning, and he's just walking around. He's not even running, he's just walking. Hey, you're on fire! Lay down!
Log entry. Current status level 4 emergency protocols. Spencer Memorial's at 100% bed capacity. All non-critical medical calls are being diverted to the Arkley FOB. Transport units report routes clear, but visibility's low due to heavy rain and fog. 2 major scenes currently active. Birch Street is a total loss. Engine 2, Ladder 11 are in defensive mode. Behavior of the occupants remains the primary concern. Multiple reports of non-responsive victims refusing to evacuate or even to acknowledge the fire. Consistent with reports coming off the 16th Street bypass. Regarding that 16th Street MVA, Officer Rodriguez with RPD is on scene. He's confirmed a heavy extraction. He sounded steady, but details are still irregular. Reports of victims sitting in the runoff, ignoring the fuel spill and the rain. Requested extra EMS for erratic behavior. And then there's the exposure report. RPD officials are now requiring a mandatory log of every individual in contact with the water on Mollison and the bypass. I have a list of 32 names so far. We've been cross-referencing them with hospital admissions, but the only common thread is every single one of them's running a fever. Keeping the line open for Len and Charlie over at the Apple Inn. They're still dark. they're not checking in the next hour, I'll mark them as status unknown and send a supervisor. RCFD dispatch, alone out. RC Fire.
This is Rodriguez again with RPD. Be advised, I've had to discharge my firearm on the 16th Street scene. I need an additional ambulance and a coroner's unit on site. We got a firefighter down, one of the rescue techs.
Copy that, Officer Rodriguez. Shots fired. What's the status of the tech and what happened?
It doesn't make any sense. The crew finished the extraction of the driver, the blue sedan. As soon as the weight was off his legs, subject became extremely aggressive. He lunged at the nearest tech and he bit him. Tore right into the side of his neck. The tech is on the ground, massive blood loss, non-responsive.
Okay, and the subject, you said you discharged your weapon?
I did. I put 3 rounds into the subject's chest. When he refused to let go, he collapsed, but he got back up. He started coming for me. I had to reload and fire again to neutralize the threat. He's down for good now, but I've got a scene covered in blood and fuel and a rescue tech who isn't going to make it if EMS doesn't get here in the next 3 minutes.
I'm diverting closer units to you now, Rodriguez. I'll notify the coroner and a supervisor. Is the scene secure?
Listen, the subject's down, but those other 2 passengers I mentioned earlier, the ones in the ditch, they're standing up now. They're watching me. They aren't coming any closer, but they're not leaving. Please send somebody. I don't like how it feels out here.
Understood, sir. Help is on the way. RCFD dispatch, all responding units for the 16th Street bypass scene. Priority 1, firefighter down, severe trauma to the neck. Be advised, RPD has neutralized 1 subject, but reports additional non-responsive individuals acting at the scene with extreme aggression. Don't exit your vehicles without RPD escort. I repeat, do not approach the victims. RC Fire, dispatch, state your emergency.
Please send someone to 1104 West Cannon. My roommate, Greg, we were having a party, all right? And he did too much. He OD'd. He stopped breathing. We were all standing around him, panicking, trying to decide if we should call because of all the stuff we had here, but then he,
All right, calm down, sir. Is he breathing now? Did you start CPR?
No, that's the thing. He just got up. 1 second, he was blue in the face, cold as ice, and then he lunged at this girl. He bit her, man. He took a piece out of her shoulder, and there's blood. It's everywhere. It's all over my basement floor. We managed to scramble up the stairs and lock the door, but he's down there hitting it. He's hitting the door with his head. I can hear it cracking.
All right, sir, listen to me. Keep that door locked for now, and don't open it to check on him. Is the girl with you? Does she have a pulse?
Yeah, she's right here. She's bleeding bad, but she's getting real quiet. She's just staring at the basement door. This guy's, I don't know if he's trying to kill us or what, but she won't even move. Please send somebody. You have to hurry.
Sir, listen to me. I'm sending an ambulance to your location, and we're contacting RPD to send somebody out. Keep your weight against the door if you have to. Just stay out of reach. You understand?
God, just get here, man.
Ambulance 12, RCFD dispatch. Please respond to 1054. It's at 1104 West Cannon. Get in contact with RPD. Report of an assault following a suspected OD. Bring Narcan. Subject's contained in the basement, but is violent. Be advised, another victim on scene has a severe bite wound and is reported to be non-responsive. RCFD dispatch. Go ahead.
Hey, Vic. It's Stevens. I'm just sitting here in the dark. I hit my 13-hour mark 10 minutes ago, and I think my brain's starting to give up. You ever see something so wrong your mind tries to call it a dream just to keep you from screaming? Because it's been my entire shift, man. One long, waking nightmare. I haven't called it in because who would believe me? Started early, around, 1800. wellness check at the Innerdale Projects. Found an old woman sitting at her kitchen table. There was a bowl of soup in front of her covered in a thick mold. She was just sitting there, spoon in hand, staring at a blank wall. When I touched her shoulder, she didn't even jump. She just turned her head, slow, like a rusted hinge, and hissed at me. No words, no help me, just a dry, rattling sound from the back of her throat. After that, we went on a domestic on the south side. Guy says his wife's locked in the bathroom. When we get there, the house was dead silent. Found the husband in the hallway, bleeding from dozens of tiny scratches on his face. Told us she's not screaming anymore, just scratching. We forced the door. She hadn't just locked it, she'd torn the wallpaper off the walls with her bare hands. Her fingernails were gone, just raw, bloody stumps. She turned around and looked at us with this hungry, empty grin. She didn't look like a wife, she looked like a shark that found a hole in the cage. And it just kept getting weirder. We got flagged down near Kendall's gun shop by a guy in a business suit. He was holding his own stomach. His own stomach, Vic. He'd been, I don't know, gutted. Something opened him up and he was just walking, picking up pieces of himself, trying to put them back in like packing a suitcase. He wasn't crying either, he was humming. A low, tuneless hum. We tried to help him, get him into the rig, but he swung at my partner and practically broke his jaw. So we had to leave him. That call we got earlier, too, to an old elementary school for a smoke investigation. I don't even want to talk about it. Even the animals, man. I saw a golden retriever on 4th Street. Sweetest dog you've ever seen, but something was wrong with it. It had glowing eyes, like a milky white. The one that broke me, and this one's going to make me think about this job if I survive tonight. We were at a gas station on the outskirts. The guy was trying to fill up his car, but he was fumbling with the nozzle. He looked sick, shivering, sweating through his shirt. I went over to help him, but he turned around. His jaw, he was hanging off, just dangling by a few threads of muscle. He tried to speak, and all that came out was a wet, whistling sound of air through his throat. He reached for me, and I saw a wedding ring. Same wedding ring as mine. Same gold band, same inscription. Just some guy trying to get home to his family. Now I'm sitting here on 5th, and I just saw another group in the park, standing under a dead oak. Just standing in the pouring rain. Not huddling for warmth, just looking up at the sky with their mouths open, letting rain fill it up. Looks like a damn garden of the damned. My partner's asleep in the passenger seat, but he's twitching. He's been scratching at his arm for an hour. I'm afraid to look under his sleeve. I'm afraid of what I might see.
Hey, Stevens, man. Wake him up. If he's scratching, get him over to the fob. You hear me? Don't wait for anything, man. Just go.
Yeah, I'll wake him. Sorry, Vic, I just needed to hear a voice that wasn't screaming or hissing. Hey, listen, I don't want to be dramatic here, but if I don't call back, can you tell my wife I was trying to help? Even at the end, I was trying.
I won't have to, Stevens. We'll be all right. Log entry, dispatch Malone, RCFD. I just talked to Stevens. He's been out there 13 hours, and I told him he's a good man. I told him, get to the fob. Give him the same hang in there type speech I give every rookie who sees their first jumper, but truth is, my skin's crawling. Stevens is a 10-year vet. He's pulled bodies out of house fires that were nothing but bone and ash. I've never even seen him blink. But his voice sounded like he was already dead. Like he was just a recording of himself. Talked about a guy trying to pack his own organs back into his body, but just like him, I think it was the wedding ring that got me. That guy at the gas station wasn't just some vagrant from the Arclay Woods. He was a regular guy, a husband, a taxpayer, someone who probably complained about potholes last week. Something's happening to the blood in this city. It's not a fever. Fever makes you delirious. It doesn't make you bite someone's throat out. It doesn't make you stand in the rain like a statue. It's a predatory stillness. I'm sitting here playing God with a headset and sending my friends into a garden of the damned because I don't have anywhere else to put them. And then the Apple Inn. Len and Charlie are 10 minutes past check-in. And Len is a stickler for the clock. So if he hasn't called, it's because he can't. And the worst part about all this is Raccoon City's almost quiet tonight. But it's a graveyard quiet. My God. RC Fire Department, dispatch. State your emergency.
Emergency? Well, now, that's a matter of perspective, isn't it? One man's emergency is another man's front row seat. I'm calling from a little pull-off about 12 miles outside the city limits. Just me, the pines, and the moon.
Sir, this line's for life-threatening emergencies only. If you don't have a report, I need to clear the frequency.
Oh, I've got a report. I just saw something truly exquisite. A sedan pulled over about a mile back. Driver must have got out to check a flat, I suppose. But then, one of those R-clay dogs, those big, mangy things that look like they've been turned inside out, came out of the brush. It didn't even bark. It just tasted him. I'm watching the fella through my binoculars right now. He's slumped against the front tire, leaking out onto the gravel, the way the red looks against the wet asphalt. It's art. It's the process, starting all over again.
Okay, sir, I'll route a unit to your location. Please give me the mile marker.
Oh, don't bother, Victor. By the time your boys get here, he'll be something else entirely. I've seen it before. Back in July, when everyone was whispering about cannibals in the woods. I was out there. I saw them. It's not about hunger, is it? It's about the change. It's beautiful in a way. The shedding of the old skin. I always did admire you firemen, you know. I wanted to be one when I was a boy. I loved the red engines. But mostly, I loved the way the fire made people look when they realized they couldn't get out. The gore never did bother me. I've got a stomach for the messy parts of life.
Who is this? How do you know my name?
I move a lot of freight through this town, Victor. You hear things on the CB. You hear the way the world is starting to rattle. I just called because I was wondering, do you ever do ride-alongs? I'd love to sit in the jump seat of a heavy rescue tonight. I want to be there when the city finally goes pop. I want to see the look on your face when you realize the water you're spraying's just washing away the evidence, not the problem.
All right, stay where you are. Don't go anywhere. I'm tracing this call. I'm sending RPD to your location.
Oh, no, you're not. You're too busy. The bypass is screaming. And I think I hear the door to your station rattling, don't I? Better check the locks, Victor. The process doesn't stop for the dispatcher. And I think I'll just keep driving. See you on the road, Victor. Keep those lights bright.
Any available unit in North Sector, report of a 1050 at the highway pull-off, about 1 mile past the Arclay Forest line. Caller reported a male subject pinned against a vehicle, suffering severe trauma from a wildlife attack. Repeat, need an available unit for a trauma call near the forest line. Be advised, I do not have a life flight available tonight. Our pilot, Chicken Heart, didn't show up for his shift at the heliport and backup's grounded due to weather. This is a ground-only extraction. If anyone copies, please advise. RCFD dispatch, state your location.
Hey, Vic, man, it's Bobby from Unit 4. Listen, I'm at the Burger Barn. I'm across from the Apple Inn and the hotel. It's going up in smoke. It's the boiler room, I think. There's black smoke just pouring out of the foundation, but there's no trucks. I know we sent a couple other units earlier, right? There's no sign of them, just their engine, and it's idling in the middle of the street with doors wide open. Empty.
Hey, Bobby. Empty? Are you sure? Len and Charlie should be on site. I sent them out earlier, but they haven't checked in.
They aren't here, man. Nobody's here. I tried to go over and help, but this guy, he came out of nowhere. He looked like he was wearing a uniform, but he was walking wrong. I thought he was hurt, so I reached out, and son of a bitch latched onto me. He bit me, man, right in the web of my hand. Right between my thumb and my index. I had to kick him off just to get away.
Listen to me, Bobby. You need to wash that wound deeply. Is it bleeding?
It stopped bleeding, but it's hot. Everything's so hot. I made it back to this damn diner, but I feel terrible. My skin feels like it's crawling with ants, and my head is just thumping like someone's knocking on the inside of my skull.
All right, stay where you are, man. I'm trying to find a unit to divert, but the city is...
It's all right, Vic. It's getting quiet now. And the fire at the inn, it's so pretty. The orange light looks like sunset. I'm just gonna sit here for a second. The burger on the table smells wrong. Everything smells wrong. Except the rain. I can smell it through the door. It smells heavy.
Bobby, stay with me. You don't sound good. What's today's date? Tell me your name.
Name? Hungry. Why am I so hungry?
RCFD dispatch, talk to me.
Hello, it's Norris, Unit 19. I'm at Spencer Memorial's ambulance bay. Do not, I repeat, do not send any more transports to this location. We are in a full-scale divert situation, but nobody is listening.
Norris, slow down. General reported they were at capacity, but Spencer was supposed to be the overflow. What's the status of the ER?
The ER is gone, Victor. The triage tents in the parking lot were overrun 10 minutes ago. We tried to offload a chest pain patient, but as soon as we opened the back doors, people they started swarming the rig, not asking for help. They were climbing on it, trying to get to the patient. I had to use my damn mag light to knock a guy off the step just to get the door shut again.
Swarming? So we're into full riot mode now.
No, it's not a riot. There's no shouting. It's the part that's messing with my head. It's the quietest carnage I've ever seen. I'm looking through the glass in the main lobby right now. There are hundreds of them pressed against the windows. Security guards, gone. I can see hats on the floor, but I don't see the men. And the patients, the ones we brought in earlier, they're standing up. I got a guy in a hospital gown. He's got an IV pole still attached to his arm. He's leaning over a nurse, and oh, God. He's tearing her apart like he's opening a gift.
Okay, Norris, get out of there. If the bay's compromised, head for the arc light fob. Do you copy?
I can't. We're boxed in. And there's a pile up at the exit gate. Somebody tried to ram their way out in a Ford, and they ended up flipping it. There's fuel leaking, and these things are just stepping through the puddles. They don't even care about fire. They just care about the sirens. I swear to God, man, they're just looking for anything that's still breathing.
Norris, Norris? Raccoon Fire, state your emergency.
I'm calling you because I've been trying the police for 10 minutes and all the lines are busy. Nobody's answering at the station and I didn't know who else to call. I'm at 4221 Arclay Drive. I'm a babysitter and the parents just came home.
Okay, miss, take a deep breath. The RPD's handling a lot of traffic right now, but I'll try to get through. Why are you whispering? Is someone hurting you?
No, but they didn't come to the door. They broke the glass in the kitchen. I heard it shatter, and I thought it was a break-in, so I hid in the pantry with the baby. But I looked through the slats of the door, and it's them. It's the parents. They're standing in the middle of their living room.
Okay, miss. Did they see you? What's going on? And why are you hiding?
They aren't talking. Something's wrong. They're just standing there in their coats. They're soaking wet, dripping all over the carpet and the TV. It's just static, but they're staring at it like it's a movie, and they're swaying back and forth perfectly together, like they're listening to music I can't hear.
All right, listen to me carefully. Stay in the pantry. Try to keep the baby quiet. I'm going to try to route through to RPD. If I can't find one, we'll get someone to your location, okay? Can you see their faces?
No, but the lady, she's just scratching herself. And not like an itch. She's digging her fingernails into her neck over and over. Oh, God, the baby just kicked the door. They stopped swaying.
All right, don't move. Don't make a sound.
They're turning around. Their eyes, they look like white marbles. They're sniffing the air. They're walking towards the kitchen. I can hear the squish of the shoes. Oh, God, he's right outside. He's right outside. He's trying to peel the wood away with his fingers. Oh, God, his hand is through the wood. It's all gray.
Raccoon Fire Dispatch.
Hey, my name's Arnie. I'm from the Channel 4 tech booth. Listen, man, you gotta tell them to cut the city's power. You gotta kill the broadcast towers, man.
All right, Arnie, calm down. What's going on at the station? We have the news feed on in the lounge. It's been a standby graphic for 20 minutes.
No. That's what you see. We're still live in the studio. I'm looking at monitors in the booth. Our newscaster, Sarah, she was in the middle of the 11 o'clock update earlier. She was reading a report about more Arclay cannibal sightings, and she just stopped. She didn't blink. She looked right into camera 1. For 15 minutes, she hasn't moved a muscle. But the cameras aren't cutting away. The auto switches are locked.
Okay, has she attacked anybody, displayed any other behavior? What's going on with her?
Her eyes, they started leaking. This thick gray fluid just pouring down her cheeks like tears. And the microphones, I turned the gain all the way down, but I can still hear it. It's this sound coming out of her mouth, but her lips aren't moving. Oh my God.
Arnie, you need to get out of that building right now.
I can't. The doors to the studio are magnetic and they've locked down. I'm watching the floor crew through the glass. They're trying to help her. They're just sitting in the dark around the anchor desk and they're all swaying. Please just help me.
Hey, I don't know if this is the right channel. I just hit the emergency toggle. Is anyone there? I'm in the Sector 4 trunk line. We were clearing the runoff gates before the rain hit, and my partner, Dave, he was right behind me. I stepped up to the ladder for the street just for a smoke, just for a minute. I was only gone for a minute.
Caller, I hear you. You're talking to dispatch at the RC Fire Department. Take a breath. Is your partner injured?
I came back down the ladder. I turned my headlamp on, and at first I thought it was snow. The whole tunnel was draped in these thick, heavy sheets of white, like silk, but greasier. I called for Dave. He didn't answer, but I heard a sound, a kind of like a clack coming from the overflow pipe. So I followed the silk and I found him. He's pinned to the brickwork. It's wrapped around his chest so tight I can hear his ribs groaning. He's looking at me, but his mouth, it was sewn shut with white thread.
Sir, listen to me. I'm going to try my best to get someone out to your location. Do you have a utility knife? Can you cut him down and try to get to the surface?
I can't. I moved my light up to the ceiling to find a source. I thought maybe a pipe had burst, but it wasn't a pipe. There's not many of them. Maybe 3, but they're wrong. They're huge, huddled in the shadows of the archway. And then I saw the eyes. Dozens of eyes. Not human eyes. They're oily black marbles, reflecting my lamp from every corner of the dark. And they're not blinking either. They're just watching me.
All right, sir. Stay calm. Move slowly.
Oh, God. One of them just moved. It's so heavy I can hear concrete cracking under its legs. Oh, God. Oh, my God. Dave. They're pulling him up. It's a web. They're pulling him up. And they're not even killing him. They're just storing him. Oh, God. One of these things is right above me. I can see fluid dripping from its mandibles. Oh, my God.
Sir, get out of there. Get back to the ladder.
They're surrounding the ladder. I can't even go up. They aren't just fast. They're patient. There's one right behind me, too. I can feel the hair on my neck standing up. Oh, God. I don't want to turn around. Please don't make me turn around.
Good evening, dispatcher. I'm calling from Umbrella's Risk Management Division. I've been reviewing your station's activity logs for the last 6 hours. You've had a very productive shift tonight. Very thorough. I'm calling to let you know that you can go home now. We've implemented a more streamlined rerouting protocol for the city's emergency services. As of 5 minutes ago, all 911 traffic is being channeled directly to our facility in the Hive. We find that centralized data collection allows for a much more integrated response to the current biological trends. There's no need to worry about the calls you couldn't get to. We're tracking the stress signatures of every resident now. It's far more efficient than manual dispatch. Oh, and regarding the water quality issues I see you noted in your logs, don't trouble yourself with the report. We've already factored the saturation levels into our quarterly projections. You've done a fine job tonight. You kept the lines open while the transition took place, and that's all we required. Sleep well, and if you start to feel a bit restless, try to stay away from the windows. Our cleanup crews prefer a controlled environment.